Welcome to the Learn True Health podcast. I'm your host, Ashley James. This is episode 184. Hello, True Health Seeker, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Learn True Health podcast. If you have been a regular listener, you may have heard of Michael Weinberger. He's been on the show twice. I was so inspired by him and his story and his mission to help as many people as possible fill their lives with joy and gratitude that we spoke and decided it'd be really cool to partner together and record some very deep and meaningful conversations where he shares his insights and the tools that he loves to teach people that get their life to a whole new level. He himself has struggled with bipolar, depression, and suicide and has been able to bring his life to a point now where it's filled with mindfulness, gratitude, and joy. And he wants to pass it on. He wants to give back as much as he can, and he did so by creating an app called A Plan for Living. It's a free app. They also have a paid version, but you can go and check it out. It's a wonderful app, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're someone who has struggled with issues around your emotions, or if you're finding that your life is not filled with gratitude and joy and a sense of purpose. Please check out that app. It's called A Plan for Living. Michael and I sat down together recently and had one of our wonderful conversations. We recorded it, and I picked out some tidbits to share with you. I'm going to be developing these conversations with him over time and making almost like mini episodes. So these episodes are going to be shorter and they're going to be filled with amazing information. He is including some of our conversations in his app as well. He's calling it Morning Motivation. I'm not quite sure yet what to call it for us. I know it's highly motivational, and I'm really excited that Michael has said that he'd love for the Learn True Health listeners to gain access to this information. In today's episode, we talk about how every day can be a Friday and the difference between being committed versus being interested. Enjoy.
So I woke up on a Monday morning and I thought to myself, today is going to be a terrible day because society and community and the community and the world at large have dictated that Mondays suck. Right? I think there's a whole industry making coffee mugs and shirts that Mondays suck, and everyone has bought into it. And I have conversations on a regular basis with people, and something I've come up with is, why are Fridays or days before holidays so amazing, right? I don't know the answer to that question, but your body feels different. Like there's a different body chemistry, there's a different outlook on life. And one thing I started saying to somebody I work with on a regular basis is, I've decided today is going to be a Friday, right? Because if I'm living in the present moment and at any time anything could happen, why can't today be as refreshing and releasing as a Friday? I never knew the answer to that. And so I struggle with my own weight. And I'll give you an example that, believe it or not, is going to tie into why every day could be a Friday. I currently weigh about 300 pounds. And I said to a buddy of mine, I said, I really wish I could weigh 290 pounds. And he asked a very simple question. What would you do if you weighed 290 pounds? And my natural comedic answer was, I'd just be upset that I don't weigh 280 pounds. But the reality of it is we're always projecting out for that next accomplishment, because it's almost like we're scared of just being here today, right? And so I believe that people look forward to Fridays so they could be free to do whatever they want to do on the weekends. And so I started to ask myself, why can't I do what I'm going to do on the weekends this afternoon? There's nothing that prevents me from doing that. And I understand everyone has jobs and there's rules, but let's say, on the weekends you enjoy going for walks or going for a nice meal or something. There's nothing that says you can't fit that time into your day during the week and make today as special as a Friday. I find that when I'm continually projecting out, the day never lives up to the expectations or the thoughts that I've put in my mind. I have had these projections like, hey, I'm going to go on this amazing vacation and I'm going to do all of this. And it's almost like I spend all my energy living the vacation before I get on the vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I get to the vacation, I'm so exhausted that I'm worried about coming back to work.
Mm.
And so now I've lived the vacation while I'm working. I then go on the vacation obsessing about work, and I come back exhausted and burnt out from the vacation. And so it goes back to the simple question. Why do Mondays suck? It's the story you've been telling yourself. Well, what if you were to change the story you told yourself on a daily basis, or the story you decided to tell yourself about your life? Rather than thinking, woe is me, and focusing on the things you don't have, I started to focus on the things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful today. It's beautiful outside. The sun is shining. I'm able to get off work a little early. My kids want to play outside. My wife loves me. I'm healthy. I'm alive. All those things are day agnostic. Everything I just described to you could be any day of the week. And so what I started to learn is rather than focusing on or hoping for a specific day at some point in the future, I just focus on today and making the day what I want it to be.
In this next segment, Michael Weinberger talks about the difference between being interested versus being committed. The quote he refers to is by Kenneth Blanchard. There is a difference between interested and committed. When you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results.
I find that I struggle when my thoughts and feelings get away from me. And I find that I am unable to sleep when my thoughts and feelings get away from me. And when they get away from me, I typically find that I'm losing my connection with life. I start to worry about things in the future. I start to come up with things that I need to get done. I start to make an unrealistic to-do list. And all of a sudden I have 200 things on my to-do list. And I'm starting to berate myself and have negative talks with myself about why I'm never going to get anything done. I actually did that to myself recently. And I heard, or I've done some reading from Ken Blanchard, who has this concept of committed versus interested. And he has a quote, which I don't have off the top of my head, but it speaks to things that you're committed to doing, you get done. Things that you're interested in doing, you remain interested, and if they get done, it's great, and if they don't, they don't. And I actually started to realize that I was interested in living, but I wasn't committed to living. And what does that mean, right? Interested in living, you're going through the daily ups and downs of life, and you're never really making progress. Every day you wake up with the same complaints. Every day you wake up with the same heartaches. Every night you go to sleep with the same disappointments. And you just continue to be interested, right? You might have a half-ass initiative to get involved with meditation or yoga or an exercise routine, but nothing sticks. That was my life. I still struggle with it, but I could tell you, I made a commitment to do push-ups. And when I made this commitment to do push-ups, this is actually about 47 weeks ago, I couldn't do a single push-up. And I made a simple commitment. I was going to do one push-up a day for every day of the first week. And that was it. I didn't make any commitments beyond that. I didn't set up a calendar of 52 weeks. I simply said, for this week, I can do this. It's now the 46th week, and I'm currently doing 46 push-ups a night every day of the week. And I attribute that to this. I wasn't interested in doing push-ups. I was committed to doing push-ups. I look at my task lists very much the same way. I used to create 200 things that I was going to get done, and I would never get done anything. And the reason I never get done anything is because the latest fire that came in via email or phone call took precedence over everything else that was on my list. It shuffled my priorities and continued to put me in this cycle of negativity. I was in this whirlwind. My brain was literally wired to look for the hottest fire and respond to that. When I created a plan for living, it allowed me to rewire my brain in how I react to situations. And it allowed me to rewire my brain because I started to focus on things I was grateful for. And as I started to focus on things I was grateful for, I was grateful for my own physical accomplishments. I was grateful for my marriage. I was grateful for my many positive attributes, my sense of humor, my intelligence. And I say these things humbly, but it's funny, I wasn't even able to say those words before I started practicing gratitude. Right? Why are saying positive things about yourself so difficult? For me, I struggle with that. And I feel like, well, if I say positive things about myself, I'm being a narcissist. Of course, there's, a scale, but it's funny just for you guys to see how my gradient goes. I'm either a hermit or a narcissist, right? There was no in between. And so when I started working on gratitude and I started working on spirituality and my putting other people first, and I started becoming aware of how I felt, I was now able to see what things were overwhelming me. Oh, I happen to be overwhelmed because my task list was 200 things long. And so what I did was I reduced it into two separate lists, and I created what I call a committed list and an interested list. And they get out of whack and they get out of balance. The important act is doing the lists first. And so now, when I feel like it's not going to be working out for me or I'm struggling with sleeping, I put things on my committed list that I'm committed to doing. And so today is a perfect example. I felt out of control. I felt like things were getting away from me. I felt like things were falling apart. And I simply put 4 things that I wanted to get done on my committed list. And I just focused on those. And any other distraction that came in, I didn't deal with. And while it created initial anxiety, the reward of actually completing my committed list was more gratifying than the anxiety I had about putting things off. And it gave me some perspective. It kind of allowed me to practice humility in the sense that humanized what I'm capable of getting done. And for me, the purpose of a plan for living is becoming aware of my own self-thoughts and feelings and recognizing that I am human and that I can be happy even if I don't get my 200-person task list done, right? I can actually use a plan for living to help redefine what success looks like and then make myself successful. So going forward, every day I can accomplish more and more, or accomplish exactly the same and still feel good about myself.
Enjoy what you heard today on your episode of the Learn True Health podcast. Did something move you, inspire you? Did you get great information that's going to change your life? Awesome. That's exactly what I'm here to do, is to help you gain your health back. Please turn around and share this. If this is something that's helped you in any way, share this with those you love. Love the Learn True Health podcast and want to support us? Awesome. You can go to takeyoursupplements.com and you can support us that way. You'll get access to amazing supplements that are just really great quality for a great price. And there'll be someone on the other end of the line to help you pick out your supplements that are right for you. That's takeyoursupplements.com. Or join our membership, learntruehealth.com/join. That's another great way to support our podcast, support our movement, and you'll be supporting yourself. Gain more information, wonderful videos, wonderful trainings, and you'll also be able to share those with those you love as well. So go to learntruehealth.com/join. Want something fun for free? Go to learntruehealth.com, and right there on the front page, you'll see where you can get our free cookbook. I spent a lot of time making it, and it was so much fun. It's really delicious, healthy recipes. And you can also get our 7-day doctor course. Right there, it's 7 days of naturopathic videos sent right to your inbox, and you can learn from top naturopaths on how to gain health naturally. So that's takeyoursupplements.com for wonderful supplements. learntruehealth.com/join to join our awesome membership, which is only open for a limited time. You can get our free healthy cookbook, and you can also get for free 7 days of wonderful naturopathic videos sent to you. Just go to learntruehealth.com and you'll see it right there on the front page. Thank you so much for being a listener, and thank you for sharing and helping others. Let's spread this information and turn this ripple into a tidal wave.